Happy Easter Sunday, everybody. This morning I'm going to share a passage that I came across on YouTube on Myra's post in his community. And my question is he in trouble? He posted this 7 hours ago. So we are in Eastern Standard Time. He's in the same time frame as I am. So that means that right now it's 9. So he posted it early in the morning, maybe at 2 a.m. in the morning. It says, or maybe 1, because sometimes, if it's almost that time, maybe 1 a.m. in the morning, he posted this. So it reads, "They want to be me so bad." Now that sounds like Myra. "They want my fame so bad. They pretend to be friends. They lay low. They want my everything, even the women." Coco Mama. I don't know about the Adam's apple, because as far as Myra is concerned, this might be a woman. "They ensure I break up with all the women they see me with. I am not ounces or onces, and 2 times not even my exes. So I'm not my ounces, and 2 times not even my exes." I don't know what that means. Okay. "Jealousy. They wonder how I do it. But again, it's the favor from God. My honesty and kind heart has put me in hands of vicious vipers." Wow, Myra is getting Shakespearean on us. Vicious vipers. He's becoming Shakespeare. Okay, a professor, I guess. "But I am a believer of my destiny. I will learn. I will improve. I will be more careful." Now, I love his parallelism. Do you notice his parallelism? And this is one of the rhetorical devices that Martin Luther King used, in his fight for freedom for African Americans in the U.S. So I really love this use of parallelism that Myra has. He repeats. That's called, I think, anaphora, where he repeats the beginning of every sentence. So very good writing skills. Excellent rhetorical skills there. "I take blame as much it's supposed to be as I learn, I guess, typo. "As I learn my lessons. They could be hard, but it's not about health or death. So I have a chance to be better. Fear a man, woman who comes looking for help desperately because once you give him or them your help hand, trust me, you will be shocked to realize your whole hand is missing." Amen to that, Myra. I have experienced it over and over again in Florida. And because in New York, we had a lot of, there were a lot of opportunities for us, especially, when you were a youth. And much was given to me in my youth, and much was taken away when I came to Florida. And these people are happily. And Myra, this is I've been in Florida since 1999. Okay, so 23 years. And I've lived 23 years of having been missing that hand, and they will mock you for it. You are absolutely right. You have to be very careful how you go about helping. In fact, you shouldn't even help a person by yourself. This is one of the things that I learned. Myra obviously is a victim of colorism. He doesn't know it yet because he's such a racist and colorist. But for people in our situation, the way you go about helping a person, if you really feel bad for them, is you involve a community. Never help a person by yourself. In fact, in the year 2000 in COVID, I was supposed to be enjoying myself because I teach, and teachers, we were all working from home and teaching from home. And I had the joy of cooking in my house and doing so much on my own. I was able to mow my lawn, keep up my landscape, and I just started enjoying it. And then there was this person who came with desperate need for help. I can tell you right now, I am still recovering and trying to heal After I had to kick her out in February. She was removed by the sheriffs because she did not want to leave. I was giving her a temporary shelter and she wanted to stay forever, so she ended up staying like 9 months in my house. So I ended up spending like 8 months without eating because she was making it very uncomfortable. And I eat from my house. I don't like to eat in restaurants because, as Myra says, they are unhealthy. So but I went against my rule because I had been following the rule of using community in order to help. For example, I worked at the math lab where I would tutor mathematics, and several times many people would come and say, "Oh, come and give me private tutoring." Never. The little money that you would be able to give me for private tutoring, I'd rather work for peanuts at the college rather than go and private tutor somebody and then they would ruin my life. And I am now reaping the reward of never ever accepting private tutoring. I had the backup of the university, and when I tutored, there were a lot of people around also tutoring, a lot of math professors tutoring. So it made it very possible, for me to be able to help without putting myself and my life in danger. So Myra is giving us a very good life lesson, very philosophical. Okay, but I guess he is who's helping? Has Myra helped? He has helped people in Kenya, as we know. He is helping those in the US. Okay, so I guess maybe this might be his justification of not wanting to help some of us. But and this is where we are finding avenues. How do we get Myra's help, even though he refuses to help all of us? And then so I go into the psychology of these people who he refuses to help. He obviously does not want to be helping Modesta. He made it very clear in his December dialogue with his sister, and recently. He didn't mind certain other YouTubers. That's why he was like, "Oh, don't go after all of them, just after one." So then my question was, why do Modesta is such a sweet person, and you could feel the vibe of somebody. The lady is, you feel the vibe. She's not evil like Myra says, and I want to make a video about that evilness and Myra's now situation. It is a life learning lesson for us, and yes, he, through Myra's stubbornness, he is teaching us a lot about survival. Those of us who are usually social rejects, okay, sort of like American or British romanticism. Those writers, they were social rejects, and they found their identity and their well-being through writing. Okay, so very, very important to note. Now I just lost what I was reading, which was so important. Let me go back. Alright, I just might have to cut off. Okay, here we go. We found it as soon as I threatened to cut off this little section of the video. Alright, so he continues. Okay, so you all be shocked to realize your whole hand is missing. But again, they will blame you. Yes, they will. They will find any small reason to make people believe you're the problem. Myra is Marwa. Okay? The thing is, when you are in the spotlight, certain people may find you as some kind of savior, some kind of Jesus. Like, this morning I got a very good and caring note or a comment regarding Myra, mention his name. Like, it's almost like Jesus said, "You will go about and do miracles in the name of Jesus, in my name." So you are an instrument that God is using to deliver many. So what is important is that you do keep a strong community as your cushion so that you will not be burned. But in the meantime, many who are touching your robe, like the woman who hemorrhaged for 12 years, actually do need the help. But I get it. You also have immediate issues that we can very much see. So this, I keep questioning whether Myra is scripting or not, but this shows like something that's from the heart. And one of the things about And that he talks about his genuinity and his his telling the truth. So like one of the things about when you speak from your heart is that it really hits others because it becomes a reality for many that they can relate to. So he goes on and says, thank God, life lessons make me sharp and scared of everyone. Scared of everyone. I lose. It's supposed to be I lose. I lose trust to people every day. As I grow bigger on my social media, my fear grows for people around me. All right, I guess that he's eating the bitter fruits of fame. They smile, but you can't tell if it's smile or frown. God bless my hustle. Thank you for the lessons, but again, it's me who introduced all these guys to all these. Okay, this is Myra who wrote this typo. But hey, you know what? When I write, I make a lot of typos too. All these guys to my audience. I have been a fighter from the village to the world. I believe in myself. I am a survival person. I'm a survivor. And tomorrow is a better day. Yes, tomorrow is Easter. Well, at least from the time he wrote it. It's Easter Sunday, when Christ rose again. I have always said I don't have friends. Trust me, my instincts are right. Yes, Marwa. Always trust in your instincts. Do not let people make you think that you're wrong. You are correct. Your instincts are right, but you're still a colorist. Yeah, nobody can change him. I mean, he's going to be a colorist, and that's just the way it is. So, but for us, of course, who are victims of colorism, we can use it to help us in learning our own survival, how to survive in our society. Last but not least, there are billions of women in the world. Why always want the one I have always? I'm sorry, Myra, but maybe you should try a black woman. that kinky looking bleach blonde who has an Adam's apple, so I hear. Adam's apple. I didn't see that one. That was Coco Mama. Sorry, Adam's apple. Let me see. Do I have an Adam's apple? I'm a woman, so yeah, I don't have an Adam's apple. All right. So anyway, forget about the Polish lady, Myra. Myra, I think Mr. Mutua is teaching you a lot about having yourself a black Kenyan woman. I mean, don't you think he's happy? What is happiness for you, Myra? Okay, so I am not perfect, but again, I am your favorite travel blogger. One day I will live to write my travel stories. Hope you buy my book. Myra, your travel stories are already published. So, and your name is everywhere. You are creating a new paparazzi. I'm a paparazzi of YouTubers. Okay, so thank you for sharing your thoughts about trust. Yes, you are so very right as you are learning it. And it's not just about fame. Anytime, if you are in a position where people don't think a person like you should be in there, they will come up with all kinds of crazy excuses that they need help in order to destroy you. My own example is that of the lady in doing COVID. she robbed me of my freedom to be in my house. I mean, that was like the 1 year that I had. At least before she moved in, I had like 4 months in my house. I was able, like, I was able to do so much. I was able to teach, and my breaks, I was able to cook in my own kitchen and eat my own food during my lunch breaks. And then, I could go, doing my planning period when I was done with planning and work in my garden. And after that, when the school session was over, I was able to go to the nearby Catholic church, walk, because I didn't have a car then, and just feel like I'm part of my community. So then this lady comes along and makes me uncomfortable in my house. I was sleeping in hotels in order to avoid her, and in order to eat, I wasn't eating because she was acting very suspicious, trying to force me to eat her food instead of mine, not respecting my preference to cook my food. And then she started staying in the kitchen forever. But anyway, that's the story for another day. I wanted to share Marwa's post. Sounded like a professor. Okay, very deep thoughts about survival in communities where you are not accepted as a human being. But I wanted to make another post about surviving, and maybe that touches a little bit about the story that I was just talking about, that Myra also displays in his new host, and I wanted to go deeper into that. So Myra, the professor, we're proud of your achievement, and we hope that everything is well. And I see that Mr. Mutua is like a father figure to you, and I really love the exchange, the human exchange that you are having in that family. Keep it up. I am glad to see that you are no longer around Muzungu, chasing desperately after Muzungu, when you have so many beautiful black women to be around you, to be example, make good wife material, okay? And for you to present black women as good wife material. Why are you chasing after kinky, slut? I'm sorry, let me not say that word, but kinky looking European women? What are they going to do for you? I mean, did you see that woman who came to visit you, bleached hair, skinny, like she hadn't eaten anything? I get it, you are losing weight and maybe you want somebody who's as slim as you, but I'm sorry, I mean, such a woman, of course, I mean, what do you expect? It's like my brother who used to go to clubs, right? And we don't, there were 3 of us, his sisters, in the house. So he would go clubbing in South Beach all the time, and then he would come home. Oh, this is why I don't like black women. They are so loud. I'm like, we are dark-skinned women, 3 of us in this household. We don't go to clubs. We are, I mean, my sisters were not even of age, but me, who was old, who was older, I mean, if I'm out, I'm at work, because my job used to, because I wasn't always a teacher. My job and I worked for the U.S. government prior to that, where I was, they would pay, airfares for me to travel all of Florida. And this is why I ended up staying in Florida, because, I mean, the U.S. government really welcomed me in Florida. It's like they wanted me in Florida, In my youth, they made me feel like the successful young adults, and traveling, beautiful hotels, Marriott. I mean, they just paid for the high class. They did not pay cheap for us, and that's where I was always at work. I used to be like a computer network technologist, and my brother comes home talking badly about people of my complexion from people he met at the club. So me, who is the young professional, you come and you put me down because of women you find at a club. Do you ever find me going to a club to come and stereotyping all black women like that? So then he ends up marrying a mulatto type woman to put her on the pedestal as the ideal wife material, okay? Whereas he leaves us at the bottom rut as the slut who go to the club and drink and take alcohol. Don't you dare compare us honorable black women. We work so hard for our honor with the garbage that you go and find at the clubs, and then you go and you get your white people and your and your mulatto and then make it look as if the whites are better than the blacks. You respect your black women. That's all I had to say. Bye bye. Have a great day.